When my son Jonathan was in 4th grade, he missed 4 months of school. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that sounds pretty good. But I have to tell you it was really sad because he missed his friends and he missed his teachers and he missed being part of things. Soaring Words means that strength is inside of every person and greatness is inside of every person. Each one of us can do a small thing, like make a poem or make a soaring fable or make a haiku or make a message that would inspire a kid in the hospital to say, hey, someone's thinking about me. Someone's sending me something that means so much, and that small action will change a person's life and let a child know that someone cares about them, will let a child know that they have the power inside of them to find that positive place and to never give up. I think that everyone wants to help a kid who's in the hospital, and I know that all of you and everyone really wants to let those kids know that they have the power to heal. Today, everything that you make, all the fables and stories that you create, will inspire sick kids in Indianapolis and all around the country. And sick children all around the world will love reading your fables and seeing the messages and stories and pictures that you made for them. Everyone has so much to offer, and you have so much love in your heart and so much creativity in your mind. I know that you have so many great ideas. And I know that kids in the hospital all over the world are going to be so excited to see what you're making for them. And they're going to be so grateful. So on behalf of them, I want to give you a giant hug and say thank you, because you are making such a big difference. Today, you are invited to create your own soaring fable. You'll select animals to be the main characters of your fable, and you'll give these animals human qualities, like the ability to drive a car, to talk on the phone, to laugh, to dance, and even to build a house. Animals have been part of fables and legends for generations. Many of your favorite childhood stories and chapter books and nursery rhymes have a spider, a dog, a cat, or another animal playing an important role. Chances are you probably already think about animals with human characteristics. For example, when you think of a lion, you think of an animal that's strong and ferocious, the king of the jungle. And when you think of a mouse, you think of a timid, scared little critter. But what if the lion were actually afraid? And what if the mouse was actually brave? Today, when you create your own fable, you can come up with characteristics for your animal and give them whatever characteristics you want. Let's talk about what makes a fable a fable. The answer is that a fable has a moral or motto of the story. This is the important lesson of the story, what the story or fable is trying to teach us. This is interesting because fables are part of an oral tradition, passed down through generations from storytellers. In these times, it was long before printing presses or even computers were invented, and stories were told to people in the village. Having a fable or moral made it easier to remember the story. Now let's watch the 4 fables from AESOP on the SoaringWords.org website. These 4 fables were animated by soaring artist Tom Lynch. His book, Fables from AESOP, is available from Viking Press.
A sleeping lion was awakened one morning by a mouse running over his face. The lion became so angry that he grabbed the little mouse in his paws and was about to eat him up. The terrified mouse begged for his life.
"Please let me go,"
he cried.
"If you do, one day I'll repay you for your kindness."
The idea of such an insignificant little creature ever being able to do anything for him amused the lion so much that he laughed out loud and good-humoredly let the mouse go. Then, one day, the lion got caught in a snare set by a hunter and was unable to get himself free. The mouse heard and recognized the lion's angry roars and ran to the spot where he was. He went right to work gnawing at the ropes with his teeth. Soon, the lion was set free.
You see, You laughed at me when I promised I would repay you. But now you see that even a little mouse can help a lion.
So remember, no act of kindness, however small, is ever wasted.
One day a hare was teasing a tortoise for being so slow on his feet.
Whoa, slow down there, Speedy.
Hold on there, said the tortoise. I bet if we had a race, I could win it.
You gotta be kidding,
laughed the hare.
Okay, Slowpoke, let's go.
They both started off at the same time, but very soon the hare was so far ahead of the tortoise that he thought he might as well rest for a bit. Before he knew it, he had fallen fast asleep. All the while, the tortoise continued to move slowly along. Mile after mile he crept, and in time he reached the finish line. Eventually the hare awoke and jumped up to continue as fast as he could. But he reached the finish line only to find the tortoise had arrived before him and won the race. So remember, slow and steady wins the race.
Step 1. Let's get started. Choose your animal character. Kids all around the world can relate to animals. We recommend that all of the main characters of your fable be animals. Now you're going to go around the circle of your small group. Everyone's going to read the Soaring Animals worksheet and pick one animal that's going to be the main character that you're bringing to the story. Choose something different. You could choose a dog or a cat, but it's much more interesting to choose an animal that maybe you haven't thought about for a long time, or an animal that you think is really funny or cool. Take a moment and think about your animal character. When you've picked your animal, look at the 6 simple questions at the bottom of the sheet. Is your animal a boy or a girl? Is your animal a baby, a kid, or a grown-up animal? What's your animal's personality? Is your animal serious or funny, happy or forgetful? Use your imagination. How would your friends describe your animal? And then think of one really interesting fact about your animal. Tina is an elephant who likes to dance the tango. Julio is an octopus who loves to play 8 instruments all at the same time. Step 2. Think about the plot or action of your fable. The second element in creating a successful fable is the plot or the action of the story. This is all about what happens.
Once upon a time, there was a bear named Sally who lived in a cave.
And then what happens next?
Michael the eagle flying, trying to find food.
And then what happens next?
Remember, I can fly, so that means I can fly to the finish line.
The way we're going to create our Soaring Fables is to write them in the round. The first person writes the first sentence, then the next person writes another sentence, and passes it to the next person who writes another sentence. You're going to go round and round the circle until you've come up with 3 or 5 paragraphs, or until your fable has come to the end of the story. It's fun and it's easy. Step 3. Think about the moral or motto of your fable. The third element of a successful fable is the moral or motto of the story.
Never judge someone by their appearance. When you try hard, do not give up. You can just keep trying and trying.
This is the lesson that you want everyone to understand when they're done reading your fable. Some morals that you'll recognize could include things like, good things come in all shapes and sizes, or no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Or one of my favorites, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I can't wait to read your fable.